Hello LinkedIn, this is week 34 of my 52-week challenge to create weekly LinkedIn videos sharing career tips and advice. So this week I'm going to talk a little bit about diversity and inclusion. There's been a big push in recent years to have a diverse workforce, have an inclusive culture, but what does all that mean? I'm going to define that in my definition and also share a little story why having a diverse team, having an inclusive culture is important. So having a diverse team means not just having a team of all different races, all genders, all ages. It also means having a diverse group of people who have different experiences, where they can use their past experiences to bring new ideas, to share ideas, to bring different perspectives to the group. For an inclusive culture, it's important because creating an environment where everyone can share their ideas without having to feel automatically rejected is absolutely important. So when you have this diverse group of diverse group of people, and everyone wants to share their ideas, if you don't have an inclusive culture, no one's willing to speak up, no one's willing to share their ideas, and it's the two diversity and inclusion goes together. So I want to share a personal story, a work story from a few years ago. I was working in a system integration lab, and we had to move labs. And I was working with my lead on designing a new floor layout for this lab, for this new facility. So my lead's been in this lab. He's been working there for 25 years. He knows everything about the lab. He's the best person possible to be working on this floor layout. And he could have just designed it any way he wanted, and it would have been great, right? It would have gone okay. Instead, he utilized the diversity of our team because him and I were both system engineers. We also had software engineers and test engineers in our team. So he went to the software engineers and said, "We have these 2x2 matrix quad screens. What computers do you want fed to what screen?" And he asked them specifically, what do you want in the top left, what do you want in the top right, bottom left, bottom right, for all the 4 or 5 different quad sets we had. And then he went to the test engineers and said, "We're designing this new lab. Which lab equipment, which consoles, which console do you want close to each other, right next to each other? So one test engineer can operate 2 things at the same time, instead of having to walk from one end of the lab to check one thing and then walk to the other side, check the other thing, and come back and forth, which is not efficient." So when we came together to create this layout of this lab, when we came together to come up with this layout of the lab, he asked for constant feedback for the team. And by utilizing a diverse group of people, system engineers, software engineers, and test engineers, he also created an inclusive culture by asking them, "What do you want to see?" And and ask for constant feedback, and just creating that environment where everyone can share their ideas and know that it will be implemented. So when we finally moved into the new facility, everyone was happy. Of course, everyone was unhappy at first because we had to move labs, but everyone was accepting of the move. Everyone was accepting of the new facility because everyone had an input into the lab, into the design, into the way things were laid out, and the lab became more efficient as a result by having everyone's point of view, having the diverse views into the design of the lab. So that's my story about why having a diverse team, having an inclusive culture, environment is very important, and just using that example to share how it became, how the result became even better than it could have been before. So this has been my longest video, I think, just by talking, but it's something I'm really passionate about at work, and I just wanted to share this with everyone. So have a great week, everyone, and talk to you guys all next week.